All right, here with the Vic-20. It's a computer that we don't pay a lot of attention to here at Commodore Forever, but it's a nice computer. It's actually the first Commodore computer that I ever owned. Not this particular one, but I did have a Vic-20. That was my first computer. I didn't have a tape deck or anything with it, and I would type in programs, and of course I had to leave the Vic-20 on the whole time, or else I lost them. And then I started doing basic programming on the Vic-20, and I could write little things, a few little programs here and there, and then I eventually got to where I was running out of memory so easily. But anyway, so I've got it here, and I got I'll show you what I've got hooked up to it. I've got a Final Expansion cartridge that I got from somewhere. I don't remember exactly. It was the kit, and I had to build it, but never could get the SD card to work, and it never would read from an SD card. And I know you have to have the special load files on there for the Final Expansion cartridge. I had all that, but it still just never would read off the SD card. So ended up hooking up an external SD card reader so I could load from it. And right now I also have a Thunder drive hooked up to it, and I'll talk a little bit more about why I have that hooked up to it in just in a little bit. But I have this Commodore Forever Wi-Fi modem that I put in this. This is one of the very first ones I ever built. I put it in an old modem case, and I use it with the Vic because I just think it looks kind of cool with it. But this was a experimental one too. It also had a little bit more features I was working on, trying to get to work, and I never could get it to work right because I'm not a really good programmer. So it just sits here on the Vic-20, and I could never get anything past 1200 baud to work with it. I don't know if that's a limitation on the Vic-20 or not, but 1200 baud on a Vic-20 is pretty good. So anyway, I'm just gonna load up a terminal program here, and we'll log into a bulletin board with it real quick. I use Mighty Term. It's not the best term program, but it does real good because it allows you to use Commodore graphics, and I forgot which one I had it on, but it's not finished. The person that was writing it never finished it, but it does work well. So let's get it started up. And it's in 40 columns too, so that makes it nice. Get to the menu, press Control-1. And so we're going to set the baud rate. And I don't know of any way to save these configurations, so you have to, I don't know if he hadn't added it in yet or what, but you have to change it every time you use it. If anybody knows of any better term programs that are in 40 columns, comment, let me know, because I'd like to try some out, some different ones. And then we're going to change it to the graphics there. Okay, so make sure the modem's booting up, and it is. And we're going to dial into the bulletin board over here. And you can see it didn't clear the screen correctly. There's a few little glitches whenever you're working with it on the Vic-20, but for the most part it works. And there you go. Loads up nice. As soon as it's done, I got a few messages here. I'll check those later. And anyway, so I'll log off here. But anyway, something I've been wanting to do for a long time with the Vic-20, because calling in to these other BBSs that are on 64s or 128s or whatever, it's a little bit of a pain with a Vic-20. And what I've been wanting to do was run a Vic-20 bulletin board system, but it's it was proved almost impossible to find a bulletin board program for the Vic-20, but I found one. So that's what the Rear Admiral Thunder drive is here for. I found a bulletin board program called Sentry. It's got some problems. I've had some problems with it. Found a few errors I've been working on trying to fix. But for the most part, it is working. Let's see. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay. And as you can see here, you have to set it up with the date and everything, the time, like you would on any other bulletin board, until you put in to have it look at the drive to set the time, which I should be able to put it in there. I just haven't got that far yet. I'm just going to put it 12 o'clock or 10 o'clock, whatever right now. So when you run it, this is the wait for call screen. I don't have it set up where anybody can call in yet, but this is pretty cool. It's just like any other bulletin board program. It's got different modules to load in to set up and everything. And I've got to go through them and look at stuff and fix a few things, like I said. But this has a lot of potential. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I would love to see this Vic-20 over here running a bulletin board. So hopefully pretty soon we'll be doing that. And of course, as you would suspect, the programs themselves are not really big. They're short. They're small, compact. I mean, it looks like a lot, but most of those are just lines because they're so long, because you're in 22 columns here. It's less than 100 lines in it. So anyway, this is just one module. I don't remember how many modules total there are. Not many. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 modules. The rest are just sequential files and things like that. But anyway, this is going to be pretty cool. I'm going to keep working on it. Hopefully I can get it up and running before too long, and I'll let y'all guys know when I do.